Okay, good afternoon. This is October the 8th, Sunday 2023, and we are in MA second semester class, and we are studying creative nonfiction. This is the 7th day, and today we are studying a new essay. Last time we read the essay More Room by Judith Ortiz Coffer. Do we have a duster this side? Maybe I have one in my bag. I had brought one duster last time. I don't know if I left it here. Okay. There is duster? Okay. In the drawer, you mean? Okay. This is my duster. This is not college duster. It's my duster. Last time, toward the end of the class, someone down there asked me, Divakar sir, could you give us a sample of rhetorical analysis? And I said, why not do in the class? So, remembering your request, I made a video yesterday. Now, I'll pick up that, and what do you do? This is your page, copy page, note copy. And you're reading essay for exam preparation. So, how do you go? Draw a circle, and then write the title, Letter to President PS, okay. Letter to President PS, 1855. 1855, the 14th President of USA. And go on drawing lines, right? Okay. Then write here title, write here subject matter, then write here author, writer, then write here text, speech, message, write here occasion, write here addressee. Just a minute. Let me open a book. Just a minute. 1 minute. Okay. Title, subject matter, author, writer, then, okay, then I write presuppositions, then, okay. Then write argument. You can write rhetorical strategies, then write appeals, then write authorities, then write kairos. We will go on reading. So let's begin by asking the question, what is the title of this text? And write here. Letter to the President. Right? Last time, while discussing Judith Ortiz Coffer's essay, I particularly focused on one term, that is exigence. Exigence. Simply, exigence is something to which you are responding. Because nobody lives in vacuum. We are in a society where people say things to us. Nobody writes in vacuum. Nobody speaks in vacuum. We are in a society that has circumstance, and we respond to what people say. So now, as you see the title, Letter to the President. Which president? American president. Right. And we also see that this was the 14th president. So we can guess that this president must be a white man. We guess, we'll cross-check as we read, because except Barack Obama, all American presidents, to my knowledge, maybe Abraham Lincoln is an exception, all American presidents have been white Europeans. I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Thank you for the information. I thought maybe Lincoln is non-white, but I guess it's only Obama who is a non-white president. So now we know that when you say letter to president, so this is, here you write addressee, you write immediate addressee, and then write the 14th American President Pierce, P-I-E-R-C-E, right? So it's 1855, right? So we have answered the question, right? We have answered this question. Subject matter we will answer when we read it with. Author, now we know author is here given as chief, and then it says Seattle. How do you spell? S-H-E-A? S-E-A-T-T-L-E? Okay. Chief Seattle. Seattle is the name of a town, name of place. And chief is, in Red Indian culture, chief is a designation, like Mukhya, Sardar. It's a tribal designation, like our Rautes have chiefs. Last time you read that in Dan, a Raute chief had come to meet the chief minister asking for dasai kharcha. Okay? So as I was preparing for your class, I was collecting information I'd like to share with you. Chief Seattle was famous for his art of speaking. He was known as a very fantastic speaker. He could be heard over long distance. I'm focusing this on this point here now. Look here. Eloquent speaker. Right? We know that he was eloquent speaker, right? Who could be heard over distance. A good speaker. Then, when he was, Chief Seattle was very tall figure, robust figure. And when he was speaking, the governor of that place, the white ruler, was sitting right in front of him. And it is said that he had his hands on the governor's shoulders while speaking. He was so tall. He was so tall. The rhetor was so robust, tall, that as he spoke, he had his hands over his head. Right? And so the immediate addressee, let me correct it here and make it a correction here. I'll say the immediate addressee was the governor. Because the occasion when Chief Seattle delivered this speech, though we are reading as letter, but it was originally delivered as a speech. And it is not sure whether Chief Seattle actually spoke these things, because over a long period of time, his speech was recorded by different historians, and there are different versions of the speech. So we are not sure whether Chief Seattle actually spoke exactly these words. But what we know, the tribal people had reached an agreement with the government, because the government had requested the tribesmen to sell their land to government. The government had requested the local tribes people to sell their land to government for money. And nobody would like to sell their land. A week ago, my parents made a call and they said, we are selling a piece of land. Instantly, I felt worried. And I told, no, Daddy, don't sell the land. Why do you want to sell the land? And we cancelled. Now, rather than selling that plot, we are now going to buy nearby plot now. Nobody prefers to sell the land where they are living. You will not easily sell the land of your house, because the land is connected with your existence. So native people did not want to sell their land, because native people did not know the idea of selling and buying. The idea of selling, buying, private ownership, it was taught to native people by European settlers. For native people, the land was everybody's. Natural resources were everybody's. You never privately owned any natural resource. It is white settlers who taught them to own the land and buy and sell. So when the government said, sell your land, they were shocked. You sell the land. Like selling the land is like selling your mother. So do you sell the mother? But the truth was, the native people knew that if you do not sell the land to the white people, they will take it by force. So there was no option. They were actually saying sell the land, but their meaning was either you sell or we will snatch it. Right? And they knew. So they agreed to the agreement to give the land. And then there was a celebration for this agreement between the government and the local people, where they agreed to give the land. And on this occasion, a lot of tribal people were gathered there. And chiefs from other areas also had come there to witness this celebration of this agreement between the Indians and the government, white government. And on this occasion, when they were finalizing the agreement to sell the land, Chief Seattle was invited to deliver his speech. And from government side, as government's representative, the local governor had come there to sign the document. Local white governor had come to sign the government, and from the tribal side, Chief Seattle was there. And he was invited to give this speech. And this speech is famous because this brief speech tells a lot about the relation between the native Indians and the settlers, particularly how the Europeans grabbed land and how they destroyed nature and environment. Okay, then, so I said the immediate addressee was the governor, and the implied addressee was the 14th American president. Okay, now let's ask the question, what is the genre of this text? So originally it was delivered as a speech, right? And then it was converted into a letter. It was converted into a letter. Okay. This speech was delivered originally into Chinook jargon, C-H-I-N-O-O-K, Chinook jargon. Chinook is a mixture of Chinook English and French language. So it was originally delivered in what jargon? Chinook jargon, Chinook language, let's say. Okay, then it was published, note down, in 1887. It was published in 1887, published 1887. Where was it published? In the Seattle Sunday Star. It was published in 1887 in the Seattle Sunday Star. I would like to tell you one more thing about Kairos here. On January, let me check my notes here. I have brought the information, I guess, correctly for you. Where have I noted down? Yes, down here. Yes, January is January 26, 1856 or 56. There was something that happened, Battle of Seattle. There are some very famous fightings between white occupants and native people. One of the famous fighting is January 26, 1856 fighting. That is known as the Battle of Seattle.
So does the kairos mean the tag?
So I'm telling you the circumstances of this speech. Kairos means what is happening in the society when a text is delivered or written. Because writers respond to social situations, economic situations, cultural situations. And I'm telling you that around the time when this speech was delivered, there was a war in Seattle, Battle of Seattle. The context: people, the tribal people of Seattle fought with the government, saying that they will not give their land. But they were defeated. And they had no option, and unwillingly they agreed to give the land. I'm telling you the background of this thing. Okay? Then, okay, what else do I need to tell you? Yes. Just a minute. There are some more things to tell you. Okay. There was one white man, David S. Doc Menard. David S. Doc Menard. The tribal people invited him, the white man, to their village, and he lived in that village for a long time. A white man. Look, the tribal people always welcomed the settlers. They gave the white people lodging, food, everything. And the white people played hedgehog. You know what is hedgehog? Hedgehog is an animal, and what this animal does is, it's get into the burrow of another animal, hole. And first it goes there very politely, settles as a guest, and it expels the guest and becomes the owner. It's a hedgehog, it's an animal. It is notorious. It will come as a very polite guest. You will not know the intentions. And soon it will capture everything you have. It will kill you, and it will become the master. So the Europeans played hedgehog. They will get into a native town first as guests, and native people will welcome them, give them food, give them place to live. And over the years, the white people will take all the land and property of the native people, and they will finally either chase them or kill them. There's a long story of this kind. So I was saying David S. Doc Menard came to live in that village, right? And he was called by Chief Seattle. He himself, the chief called him, come and live in our village, right? And the name of this village was Duwamp. Duwamp. Where should I write? Duwamp. Let me write here. Seattle was originally called as Village of Duwamp. What was the name? Village of Duwamp. And Menard renamed this village as Chief Seattle to honor Chief. So original name of the village was, what was the name? Village of Duwamps. Duwamps. Did I write yes? Yes. Duwamps. And later, this village was named as Chief Seattle. It is near Washington. Where is it? It is near Washington. Okay. Now, in 1856, as I told you, there was a battle between the local people and the government. Because government wanted to take the land. In Nepal also this happens. Government has a plan. And they say, we will do Adhigrahan. Last year you saw how in Rupandehi, the finance minister, Mr. Paudel, had gone in a village where there were rumors, Motipur or something, that he is going to declare a special economic zone, Arthik Kshetra, and then they pelted a stone on the minister, saying that you will make a Sukumbasi. I remember on television, if you remember. Something similar. Government wanted to occupy the land for development plan maybe, and the local people were not willing. So there was a fight. I'm telling the Kairos occasion, Kairos. Okay. So, okay, then what else to see? Wait a minute. Okay, now let's write here. Discourse. Past, present, future. So when a text talks about the past, we call it forensic discourse. What do we call it? Forensic. If a speaker is talking about something from the past, what do we call it? Forensic. If a speaker talks about future, we call it deliberative discourse. Deliberative discourse. If a text talks about present policy also, we call it deliberative again. Yeah, deliberative. Future or present? Past, forensic. Future or present, deliberative. Now, if a text blames people for something or praises people for something, like Changrili praises mother, we call it epideictic. This speech has all these features. Epideictic, epideictic. We call this praise blame rhetoric. We call this praise blame, let's say here, past, FORENSICRHETORIC, rhetoric, present, DELIBERATI, deliberative, RHETORIC, rhetoric, this also. Then here we have EPIDEICI, deliberate, epideictic. We call it praise, blame, rhetoric. And this speech has all these three characteristics, because the rhetor talks about past also, rhetor talks about future consequences also, and rhetor talks about present also. So this speech has all three characteristics. Okay. Now let's get into the text. So let's begin with the title. Who is the rhetor? Chief Seattle. These chiefs were not known by a name. They were known by their designation. The chief of the Seattle town. Chief Seattle. The chief of Seattle town. They didn't have names like us in Nagarikta, documentary names. So do you see, their identity was linked to the place they lived at. They were known by where they were living. See, other people, we are not known by where we live. We are known by a document. If I have to tell you who am I have to produce my identity card, right? And I have to show you these documents. This is the ID card given by university. So it names me Divakar Upadhyay Kushma 1 Parvat Lecturer Central Department of English. And it gives code number D457. That's my identity. Native people did not have such identity. They were known by the land where they lived. It is Europeans who created such identities. Right? And these identities are deeply political. They are deeply political. I won't go more than that, beyond that. So Chief Seattle is the rhetor. Then later genre. Note down in genre. We wrote, I guess. Genre, we wrote. Speech converted to letter. Okay. Time, occasion, exact time, right? Occasion. 1855. Place, Washington. Seattle near Washington. Place, Seattle near Washington. Yes.
So you mentioned that the time is 1855, but the Kairos that you mentioned is January 26, 1856. So I think the time.
Okay, wait. Two things I'll say. This text has a long history. And there are dozens of versions of this speech. So it is very difficult to exactly determine many things in this speech. The problem with this speech is that many people recorded, documented in many versions. So even we don't know whether Chief really spoke these things. This speech for us has been brought from, look where it is coming from. Let me show you. No, let me show a book. I wish I could show you, but let me show you. The one you are reading in your course, this has been taken from this book. There is a book. Okay? To make it authentic, it is taken from the book Native American Testimony by Peter Nabokov. And this book records the relation between Native people and the white Americans for 600 years, from 1492 when Columbus discovered America to year 2000. It is 530-page book, and this chapter we are reading is one lesson from this book. Okay? So, the information in our book is from this book. But if you read other versions, maybe other informations. And Kairos, when you talk about Kairos, keep in mind, when you talk about Kairos, suppose something happens here, right? You have this understanding that Kairos is only about the past, right? No. Kairos is circumstances immediately before and immediately after. Though you may argue, Divakar sir, how can a rhetor respond to events that have not happened yet? But when I bring Kairos, I am not only telling you that he is responding to the event, I am telling you what was happening there at this time. Because I want to help you understand the situation, the circumstances, the exigence, the occasion, the Kairos that prompted this kind of speech. So Kairos is immediate circumstances surrounding an event, right before, right after. Both can form Kairos. But it's good to ask that if I'm writing an essay today, how can I respond to something happening tomorrow? Right? You're right. But what I mean is that when we read this essay, we look for what was happening before and what was happening immediately after. At least we understand that Chief Seattle is responding to the question of selling land between the white and the natives. And we understand that the issue of land ownership was a cause of battle between the white and the natives. And there was a famous battle called Battle of Seattle in 1855. But when we read this date 1855 in your book, I'll invite you do some internet research and see if it is really 1855 or 1857. I am not sure. It may be 57. If it is 57, then our 56 date is accurate. Okay, now let's get into the text. We will read the text quickly and we'll supply this information, okay? So paragraph 1, I'll read, hope you can follow me. We know that the white man does not understand our ways. So, see the Kairos. See the Kairos. Kairos is tussle between the whites and the natives. See the circumstance. Kairos has two meanings. In the narrow sense, Kairos is the moment when something happens. In the broad sense, Kairos can be a decade, it can be a century. So broadly speaking, here Kairos is all that stretch of history when white Europeans began to settle in America and began to commit atrocities upon native people. Broadly, that is the Kairos. The broad Kairos is European settlement in America and the encounters with the native people. This is the broad Kairos. We know, so when Chief Seattle says we, the rhetor says we. Look here. The rhetor uses the word we. He never uses the word I. Native people do not use the word I. They don't have that individuality that Europeans have. They use the word we. They see in totality. They don't see themselves as individuals. See, and this, when Chief Seattle uses we, he makes ethical appeal. Because ethical appeal emerges from his speaker's character. From his speaker's character and personality. Character and personality. We know that the white man does not understand our ways. So the implied addressee is who? The white man. The European settlers.
Sir, are they really addressing to the white man or to their own community? Addressing them, arising some sort of awareness?
Here in this letter that we have in our course, we have the word white man. Right? Yeah, white man. So when he was speaking, if you read below, you find that there were hundreds of tribal people and also hundreds of white people are gathered there. The audience has both white and natives there. And right in the first sentence, we see the issue. In rhetorical analysis, you look for issue. And what does he say? He says, white man does not understand our ways. See the issue. What does it mean? It is a clash of culture. It is a clash of culture. The white culture and the native culture. One portion of the land is the same to him as the next, for he is a stranger who comes in the night and takes from the land whatever he needs. Oh God. The rhetor says, the white man is a thief. Comes at night and takes what he needs. So the issue is land ownership. The issue is land ownership. Okay, look, he comes, the stranger, he calls the white man as stranger. See the word, choice of word. In rhetorical analysis, you focus every word. The chief calls the white man as stranger. Takes from the land whatever he needs. The earth is not his brother. When chief says, earth is not his brother, what is trying to say? Earth is our brother, don't harm. What is the topic of the chapter in our course in which this essay is prescribed? Unit 1, Unit 2, tell me. In your course book, what is the heading of Unit 2? Theme. People, places and environment. So ask a question now. What is the theme of this text? Theme, that is environment. This text is on environment, right? The earth is not his brother. Implication is we should treat earth as our brother. But his enemy. That's why they create dam. They have bulldozer. They have excavator. They have dumper to dig the earth. Because they treat earth as an enemy. What is the point here? Regard earth as the body of your mother. Yes. Regard earth as the body of your mother. And whatever you do to the earth, remember, it's something you do to the mother. So if you won't like to do it to your mother, don't do it to earth. So the environmental appeal. See how beautifully he says. Okay. but is his enemy. And when he has conquered it, so the white man, see, the white man conquers the earth. That's why he says, the white man does not understand our ways. Native people do not conquer the earth, they worship the earth. Native people treat earth as a friend, not as enemy. Native people treat the earth as brother, not as enemy. White man treats the earth as an enemy to conquer. That's why they build Hoover Dam, the biggest dam in the world after Three Gorges. Even if all people from this earth disappear, Hoover Dam will run automatically for 1 year. If all people die, it is made in such a way, it will go on for 1 year. Hoover Dam, right? Three Gorges Dam China has made. So big, the volume of water is so heavy, it has slowed down the speed of earth. Because of the Three Gorges Dam, today, the rotation of the earth around the sun has slowed down. Right? So what are we doing? We are treating earth as enemy. Okay. When he has conquered it, he moves on. He digs here, then goes there, goes and moves on. He leaves his father's graves, and his children's birthright is forgotten. Look, he leaves his father's graves. These white men came to America from England. These white men came from England, Europe. So they left father graves in London. And his children's birthright is forgotten. And every child has a birthright to live in the land of their father. So if you leave Nepal and go to Australia, that you will do in future, I am sure, your son's birthright to live in Nepal will be finished because you moved there. Yes. Every child has the right to live in the land of their fathers and mothers. Yes. That's why when Nepalese people are at the immigration, TIA, they touch the land, do like this, and they shed tears. Because they are leaving their birthplace. And they are not sure whether they will come. They might meet a bombshell dropped by Hamas in Israel, and they might die as you see today and tomorrow. As we are reading this essay, many of our Nepalese sisters and brothers are dying in Israel. Look how we can connect essays with reality. See, I really like this line. He leaves his... Look, he said, the white man doesn't know our ways. What are native ways? Don't leave your native place. Be born there, grow there, live there, die there. White man goes on running London, Australia, America, Egypt, India, Nepal, and exploits everywhere.
Explore and exploit.
Explore and exploit. Go to Africa and exploit. Heart of Darkness. You read Heart of Darkness? Yes. Who wrote it?
Joseph Conrad.
Joseph Conrad. Heart of Darkness. The white man enters the heart of darkness. And wherever the white man goes, brings darkness. Wherever the white man goes, brings darkness. By destroying nature. By destroying nature. So the point, look, the white man does not understand our ways. This sentence is one sentence summary of the whole essay. The meaning of the whole essay is, the meaning of this whole speech is, the white man does not understand our ways, and the chief gives examples. He leaves his father's graves, Europe, and his children's birth right is forgotten. The sight of your cities, your means white man. The sight of your cities pains the eyes of the red man. Look, the white man lives in the city, and the red man lives in the village. What is a city? City is where Bishnumati becomes Dhalmati. City is where Bhagmati becomes Dhalmati. City is where there is dust, dirt. City is where it is stinking. City is where skyscrapers grow. City is where temperature rises. City is where no greenery. City is where birds can't survive. City is where environment dies. White man's city. The red man lives in the village, where houses can be at a distance, but hearts are closer. Cities, apartments are very close, but people live distance. You don't know the person next room. In city, you don't know the person next room. In village, you walk across another village, they will know, oh, Sailako nati ho timi, they will know you. In city, walk down the next room, house, they don't know who you are. So the white man does not know the ways of the red man. Red man lives by protecting nature. White man lives by destroying nature. That is the question. The white man lives by exploiting nature, conquering nature, defeating nature, destroying nature environment. The red man lives by protecting, honoring, respecting nature. The tribal people hunted bisons to eat meat, bisons, wild buffalo. And they had a rule. Before you hunted a buffalo, you had to perform a puja, ritual. Before you killed an animal, you worshipped the animal's soul. You invited the animal to be ready to be killed. Another essay. And then after doing a lot of puja, then you hunted the animal. And you did not hunt any animal more than you needed. So the number of animals was always in balance, and people had plenty of supply of food to eat. What the white man did? The white man came with the gun and the barud. What do you call barud in English? Gunpowder. And the white man started shooting the buffaloes. Very soon, the white man killed so many buffaloes, there were no buffaloes left. The red man, when he goes fishing, he goes with one rod, brings one fish. The white man, when he goes for fishing, goes with a fishing ship and throws the net and drags metric tons of fish. And within months, the ocean is empty of fish. The white man does not understand the ways of the red man. How? The white man does not understand that if you live by killing the nature, destroying nature, you will die finally. The white man doesn't understand this thing. The red man fulfills his need. The white man fulfills his greed. So this is a question of need versus greed. You can satisfy your need. You can never satisfy your greed. The white man doesn't understand the red man's ways. The red man says, live by fulfilling your needs. White man says, no, I will fulfill my creeds. I'll build cities. I'll develop. And the white man calls this development. Building cities, building concrete jungles, dirtying rivers, dirtying natural resources is what the white man calls development, development. And the red man says, your development, friend, is actually destruction. As Lakshmi Prasad Devakota in his poem Lunatic says in paragraph number 6, I guess. Your development is my destruction, he says. But now you have ghar jane bela, I know. Civilization run by clocks. Civilization run by clocks. Okay. Wait a minute. We have 5 minute time. The sight of your cities pains the eyes of the red man, but perhaps it is because the red man is a savage and does not understand. This is irony. This is satire. Satire. When the chief says, perhaps the red man is savage, he implies, hey white man, you are savage. He is saying, yeah, we red men don't understand your ways because we are savage. His meaning is, you are savage. Look, this is satire. This is mockery. The white man is, the chief is mocking the red man, Indian, sorry, the white man. Okay, yes. Huh? Oh, a good question. Why do we call them red Indians, right? I can't answer a question exactly because I have to give you a biological answer, fixed answer. But I'll say, I do not know why they're called red Indians. So Google and find out why they're called red Indians. I don't know exactly, right? But what I know is they are the native people. Look, Americans, when they discovered America, they called it Newfoundland. They named it Newfoundland. And they argued that it was not settled by people. The truth is, before Europeans went, there were already Americans living there. And they falsely said no one was living. And they took their land. So we're stopping here. And Tuesday, I will not teach this essay. I will teach this essay at home now. Watch. Tuesday, come with questions. Tuesday, maybe I can come with a rhetorical analysis sample. I can come with a sample and give it to you.
That would be our last class.
Last class. And particularly Tuesday, I will assign you papers. Thank you.